Hi kids, it's your friendly neighborhood video blogger, I guess. Alright, so we're off to a great start already. Coming in to post a quick thing. We are on day 13 of a 14-day shoot. We are almost done. We are at our last two, well, I mean, there's 3 more locations, but we're basically at our last 2. Shooting at a restaurant in Fayetteville and shooting at a quote-unquote abandoned gas station in Fayetteville. I'm like so tired. Like, so as a production designer, it's kind of like in case you haven't heard any of these rants before or you're not aware of industry stuff, as a production designer, I'm kind of responsible for the world in which the production is filmed. I work really closely with the director, and I work very closely with a copy of the script, and we kind of figure out, okay, what's the best way to tell this story visually using the environments. Like, for instance, if we got to write I don't even know, but if we got to write a story about the whatever, you know, stories, they're things. I'm like so tired I can't even like think all good and stuff. So we go through the story, we kind of figure out, okay, what's the point of the story, because, well, your story has to have a point or it's not really a story. And we work on things about conflicts and character development, and we try to get the story beats down, and we try to figure out, okay, what changes do the main character go through, what's the conflict, what's the resolution, it's storytelling 101. And what I do basically is I go through the script and I go through the story and I kind of figure out, okay, what world best fits the narrative, what tells the story. If I got like a lonely teenage girl in my story and it takes place in her bedroom, I gotta sit and think, okay, well, what bedroom looks like a lonely teenage girl bedroom? And it's like, okay, My Chemical Romance posters on the wall and whatever. I can't actually use My Chemical Romance because licensing, so I'd have to like make up a band, which I love doing. I love making up fake bands and flyers and stuff like that. It's kind of one of my things. Yeah, don't go in my lane, please. I'm here. Drivers needed. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Look at you. On a cell phone. It's cute. So, and then, you know, if we got like, you know, a father with a mysterious secret, I gotta hide stuff in the background of that, and like, I don't know, have like, I like putting stuff like, if they're mysterious, I kind of putting like weird abstract paintings in the background that kind of show that. And if it's like, you know, it's a mom that has, you know, some sort of dark past locked away, I make sure to put like music boxes and stuff in the background, and lots of little chests, stuff with like locks on it, knobs. Like if I can find a dresser with a ton of drawers on it, I'm like, all right, well, this is here. You know, weirdly enough, like one of my go-to calls for women with weird pasts are the little music boxes with the mirror and the ballerina. Like has there ever been a time where you've seen one of those like on someone's bedroom dresser and been like, I am not surprised this is here? Yeah, it's shit like that, man. Like, you know, certain characteristics have certain common traits, like various types. Color theory comes really into this, where it's like if they're aggressive, there's a lot of reds. If they're very nurturing, there's a lot of greens, and kind of so we build that. And if there's scenes where there's conflict, I kind of decorate it with a lot more angles and brighter colors. If it's a spooky, dramatic scene that's sneaky, I'll cool down the color gamut and I'll soften things. And, you know, that's only part of the equation. There's also the whole, oh, thank you, Atlanta, for giving me traffic. Now I'm going to be late to set again because it's Atlanta. Anyways, so that's basically it. As a production designer, I build the world to fix or to supplement and support the story. And the story, of course, is character development, conflict, and whatnot. Normally it's a great, lovely job, but it's like, so the project I'm working on now is a different beast because I can do my job without interference for the most part. Like, I've proven I know what I'm talking about. And during pre-production, we'll sit down and I'll have extensive notes and I'll ask questions and I'll make decisions and blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, normally when I'm doing this, it's like all my decision making is done pre-production. Once production starts, then I'm going and going to other people and telling me, buy these props, build these sets, get this decoration, get these dressings, whatever, right? So that's in theory how it's supposed to be. What I'm working on now is filming in Atlanta, but like the writers and executives are in LA, and I don't know, I've been out to LA once or twice and it's all right, but like fucking LA is out of touch like with the rest of, they're in his own little fucking bubble. It's like, how does this even function? So it's like we'll go, and we made all these decisions weeks ago, and we're weeks into filming and we're doing whatever, and you know, everything's going along fine on our end, it's great and shit like that, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, this is good, let's send this out. And then also you get like an email back from some suit on the other side of the world practically, and they're all like, can we have a different colored Range Rover in the background? So are we supposed to like fix the color of a car in post or something? I don't. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm not feeling it. And then it's like, you run into logistics when you're trying to film, and it's like, hey dude, we're trying to find a gas station for the kidnapping scene, and it's just not happening. Instead of her running out of gas, can she just get a flat tire? And you know, then the fucking writer is all like, no, it's got to be a gas scene. It's like, dude, just tell the fucking story. Like, that's all that matters. And it's just so fucking weird that we bust our asses for days on end, and then we get these fucking dumb little emails about shit that should have been done different. And it's like, did you not get our pre-production dossier? Did you not see what we were doing? We were planning, we were gonna do this. Like, where were you then before we spent time and money on doing shit? And you know, sometimes that even trickles down to being on set. There's been, I'm not gonna say this project, but there's been projects where it's like, all right, we got our pre-production notes, we got our meetings, we got everything, we're good to go, this is how we're gonna do everything. And then we go, yeah, please don't crash into me. And it's like, we do all of our shit, we get everything all set up and staged and ready to go, we light it up, and then like director or producer walks into the room and they're like, I hate it, change it. It's like, what? Where were you earlier when we built this? You know, it's like, you just let us work on this for 2 days. You let us build this set and paint it and decorate it and dress it up and have it picture perfect per our pre-production notes. There's a lot of alliteration there. Allergic to alliteration. And like, we do all this. We spend days setting all this shit up for your 3 or 4 hours of recording that's only going to translate to 5 or 10 minutes of screen time. And like, at no point during the process did you come wandering in and be like, hey, I know this goes against our notes, but can you change this? Especially, my favorite part when this happens is when they want changes right there, like just before picture's up. You know, it's like, all right, well, the scene's decked, it's built, it's lit. We're gonna go ahead and do rehearsals, and they fly in first team and they do their rehearsals, and they're like, all right, that's rehearsals. And then they turn and they're like, hey, I don't like that green couch. Can we get a blue couch? And it's like, I don't have a blue couch in here. You want me to drive across Atlanta and go rent a fucking $300 couch for a week for this 5-minute scene? I'm not gonna be back in time. Like, everything in Atlanta is an hour away from Atlanta. I legit, like, okay, so my art department usually, we come off as like fucking miracle workers because we always like to have options and we keep those options and we're like hide them and shit like that. So it's like, if I got to go print out pictures of a family, I don't just print out like one. Like I print out like 18. You know, I'll throw in fake families and like people that don't exist into the mix, and I'll fucking, I like got a fucking giant Tupperware full of random picture frames and photos and blah blah blah, because everything's got to get cleared through legal. And it's like, and I put everything up, and then all of a sudden it's like the director comes walking on the set, looks at it, sees the picture in the background. It's a blurry background, like no one's ever gonna see it. And it's like, hey, I don't like that golden retriever with the family. Can we get one with a chihuahua? And or not even, they're just saying we don't like that dog, so I'll go replace it with like a picture of a different dog. And all of a sudden it's great. And the only reason why, it's because like I'm kind of used to this, and I know people change shit at the last minute, but you know what? I've come to learn that if you do that with a director long enough, they expect it all the time. Like, I fucking legit just had this thing happen where, you know, I spent all day fucking building and decking sets and everything was fucking great. And then like, I'm pleased with it. Art department shows up, they're pleased with it. G&E and camera show up and they're like, yeah, that's pretty good. The line producers and producers show up and they're like, yeah, man, this is great. Tells the story perfectly great, blah, 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 blah. And then fucking, you know, the director comes in and like, I built this set a little while ago, and without getting into the story, it was, part of it was baffling me because it was like about some dude that was supposed to be living in a basement, and the set location they found had a fireplace and they really wanted to use the fireplace. So in the back of my head, I'm like, I don't know any basements that have fireplaces. So I don't think anyone else is going to see this fireplace and think he's in a basement. So I spent all day decking it, and fucking like everyone loved it. Every department from last dude coming in to all the way up to me is fine. So I build it, I deck it, all the furniture's in it, and everyone shows up to start filming. And it's like, all right, well, before camera comes in here, let's sit down and have a lunch and we eat. I sat down and I ate with like the producer and the director and a few other key department people, and we're just like sitting on my set, mind you, which I'm not a fan of my set being used to just chill in, because shit gets moved and disappeared, or heaven fucking forbid someone spills a coffee. And we just sat down and we had lunch and we were talking about whatever and discussing wacky shit, and it's like, oh yeah, everything's a great time. And then like, I'm like, all right, cool, well, you know, producers and directors are looking around the room while they're talking, no one's saying shit about nothing. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And then like, we're done, we go back to our separate corners and we start getting ready to shoot for the rest of the day. And then like an hour or two later, fucking dudes come back and they're like, this room's all wrong. I'm like, okay, so why did you not say something while you were sitting in it like earlier today? Oh, well, it's wrong. It's all right. Well, what do you want me to do? Well, this should have been like this. This should be like this. I'm like, but the production notes. And I'm like, I'm trying to help out because I get it. Like, being a director is a tough job. You got your vision. You know it's going to work. You definitely don't want to get stuck doing fucking reshoots because, you know, the lampshade was the wrong color. And, you know, we light it up the best we can and we do everything. And then he's like, we need something different on his desk. And it's like, what? It's like, yeah, we need this thing. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have that in my truck. Mind you, like, I shouldn't, as a production designer, legitimately, I should not be carrying set deck or dressing or even props in my truck. I should be showing up in like a Chrysler 300 with a fucking cup of Starbucks in my hand. Like, that's the only shit I should be carrying on and off on the set. And it's like, well, find something. I like tell my art department, I'm like, all right, we need to find a big giant fucking computer monitor for this scene. You guys got anything? It's like, because, you know, we got the laptop. I can't even, I'm not even going to give away the story or nothing. I'm like, we got the laptop. I mean, and apparently the laptop's not good enough, even though Out in the real world, the laptop is what's used, but welcome to LA, where if it's not a giant screen monitor, it's not real. And so it's like, all right, well, I got my laptop and that wasn't good enough. Do you guys got your laptops? It's like, yeah. It's like, all right, let's just set these laptops up. And they're like, no, that's not going to look right if he's got 2 laptops open. And it's like, okay, so first off, I was told there will be no shots of his desk from his point of view, so no one's going to notice that they're laptops. They're just going to see monitors. And you're like, nope, that's not it. Oh, by the way, like, so then they're like, well, find something. And I'm like, dude, we are like renting out this person's home. Like, I don't even like opening drawers to fucking put shit away or move shit. And that's part of my job. Like, I don't like it. And then he's like, well, just go find something. I'm like, you want me to go into a fucking someone's room? And so I go into like this one room and I find like a pretty decent sized flat screen TV, and I'm like, all right, we got to use a monitor. And I go and I got to put the monitor down on the desk, and they're like, no, that's too big. That's gonna cover the dude's face. I'm like, I'm just looking at the camera on the fucking tripod that's more expensive than my car, and I'm like, you can't just. And they're like, no, that monitor's not right. And it's like, oh, well, and then I guess they're like starting to say, well, maybe the desk isn't right. I'm like, how many desks did you want me to bring to this fucking set? I feel like it's like, all right, so I guess what you wanted me to do was build this set and in my garage and deck and dress it and light it for you, and then take a bunch of 3D photographs and video, some 360 video, and be like, hey, is this good? All right, cool. I'll go ahead and pack it into the back of my car, and I'll drive the set and rebuild it there. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah, it was just like a mess. Like, I'm getting yelled at. Art department's getting yelled at. God bless their little hearts, because they're fucking like frantic. It's like the director hates the color of these lampshades. You better make fucking better lampshades. And I'm supposed to go that way, aren't I? Yep. Ugh. Dude, I think I got like another half hour of driving, which means you people got to hear me for another 20 minutes. And it's also, you know, if you're not in the industry, this might be a little fascinating to find out what happens behind the scenes. And if you are in the industry, you're probably commiserating right now. You're like, yeah, I've been there. So, yeah, it was just a train wreck. And again, it was like, all right, so during the course of the production, like, I have been giving you oh, okay. It's just my map shutting down, which means I should probably like fucking wrap this somehow. I don't know how I'm gonna wrap it. I don't know where I was going. I just wanted to vent and fucking freak out. So the moral of the story is, yeah, dear directors and producers, yes, our department does come off like we're miracle workers, and we can find random shit to pull out of our asses, but the harder you fucking change shit from pre-production to shoot day, the more we gotta fucking do. You know, like, I've literally gone and built sets and then moved on and built other sets while you're filming on my first set, and then I start getting questions about the first set, and it's like, excuse me, I'm working on the second set. And it's, yeah, we do pull off some fucking great miracles. We're quick on our feet. We think we're like fast thinkers, quick on our feet, just like. And, you know, as an art department, you should do pretty good at it. And the kids in my art department right now are fucking really good at what they do, and they're doing the best they can. But, dude, like, that miracle worker shit only goes so far. If you're expecting a miracle every fucking day, it's not really a miracle anymore, is it? It's not even magic. You're just being, I don't even want to fucking say. But, goddamn, dude, cut us some slack. If you gotta make a change to something, make sure it's fucking related to the story. You know, don't just fucking do it because you don't like the color of the lampshades. Like, we don't have a fucking collection. I don't have a prop house. I got a fucking SUV. Make your decisions. Stick with them. You can, yeah, you know what? Tweak shit a little bit. That's cool, but god damn, dude. You know, and even though it was a real pain in the ass about that shit yesterday, not gonna lie, like, I didn't even get the worst of it, because apparently it was a lot worse than the first location, because we were filming in some sort of corporate building, And like we were like, all right, tech scout a month or so ago, we're gonna shoot down these halls, we're gonna shoot into these doorways, we're gonna shoot into these rooms. It's like, all right, make sure those rooms and hallways and doorways are all dressed and done correctly. All right, cool. And then they get there, and then my art team tells me, oh yeah, so they changed the rooms like 4 times. And I'm just like, dude, don't do that. Don't do that to my people. I love my people. Treat them right. I think that really is kind of the moral of the story here, or the punchline of the video blog. Like, treat your people right. Oh, but whatever, dude. It is day 13 out of 14, and we are almost done. And at this point, it's like, I would probably have to actually scream at a director in order to get my ass fired from set. And as long as I don't get fired from set, I'm still getting paid at the end of the day. That being said, I'm kind of hesitant to release this video because I feel like if I put this out there, this company is not going to hire me ever again. But you know, at the same time, if they don't ask me to come back, are either of us losing out? I don't know. I'm just, as soon as I'm done with this, like this show, I'm gonna wrap it, and I'm gonna tail lights, and then I'm gonna get my paycheck, and then I'm gonna take like a day or two to just like sleep heavily and get over it. And then my next set, I'm going into an abandoned warehouse, and I'm throwing water balloons full of paint at half-naked women to death metal music. So whatever, man. Like, welcome to Hollywood. Is that my exit? No. Okay, good. Maybe it is. I don't know. All right, I gotta go. Enough about me. That flaming wreckage on the side of the highway really distracted me. Talk to you later.